Howdy, it's me, Medic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system located underneath the Art Vale, found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And today is it Tuesday? I think so. I lose track of time. 2 records today, that's it. But it's the record day record stories that the whole... Here I am. I'm going into the complaining thing already. I know that. I can't help myself. So, first of all, I go to St. Vincent de Paul, and they have the same pile of crap that you could just go into the trash. Okay, I mean, it's like worn out. The records are out of their sleeves. They're not in the right. Everything's. But anyway, but there was something interesting that happened there. Is I found a record made by George Liberace. Liberace's brother, George, made a record that's on Crown. He's on the cover, looks just like his brother, with playing a violin, doing some mood music. And the record was missing out of the inside of it. I would have bought the thing. I didn't know that. I didn't know I had a brother that made records. Record, or plural. Okay, so then I'm everywhere I go, there's like people driving, like, oh my God, just cutting it all out. And then I get to Half Price Books. This is a Tuesday, right? Okay, I figured it out earlier in the video that this was Tuesday. I go into Half Price Books like at, what was it? What time was it? Like 1 o'clock or something, figuring there'd be nobody in there. It's not, they don't have a big record cube in this place, okay? It's not a big display of records. And there's 3 people sitting back looking through the cheap records. And there's only room basically not to get in the way. If there's 2 people there, you probably won't be in your way, each other's way. Maybe, if you're lucky. So I go around the other side and I'm looking through, and one guy's just standing up talking. He comes around, so I figure whatever he's doing, he's not doing anything back there. And I hear this woman. I'm just going to describe her as a bag person, like a street lady bag person. That's just kind of what she reminded me of. And I hear her saying a few things like, you know, and then she gets up and walks away. And I come around and I pick up a stool, and the guy was sitting down next to her, said, that's her stool. And I went, what? And I looked at her, and she'd like moseyed over in slow motion to get a cart. And I said, oh, you're finished, right? Oh, no, I want to be finished. Just 5 minutes. It'll just take me 5 minutes. Okay, so I go around, I'm looking at horror movies, like, you know, trying to find something. And then I noticed, like, some of the cheap science fiction movies, how can they charge $10 for like 3 of these movies in a giant box? Why do they come in a giant box? When you know they're all on one disc. Some of these movies come 50 on a single, no, it could not single disc, but 10, never mind. I'm cutting out about the science fiction movies, but I'm looking at science fiction horror movies, and I don't see anything, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and waiting, and 5 minutes goes by, and she's still sitting there, and I had to go around, I'm looking. The other guy is like pulling out stacks, not just looking through them in the bin. He has to pull them all out, flip, 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 putting them back, but he's making pretty good progress, and I just stand there. He's being nice about it. He said, well, would you like to... I said, no, I don't want to get in your way, it's okay. I'm not really close. I'm standing out of the sphere, you know, out of the bubble, the personal bubble. And this woman is like pulling these things out. And she's just like leaving half one out. And she's going kind of in the wrong direction to look at him. And she pulls a few out and she's like throwing them up in the bin with the higher priced records where they don't go. Like putting them up there and pull out. And then she finds this Animal House album, you know, like the soundtrack. She goes, oh, is this a movie? And then she says... I knew she was going to be trouble when she said, well, my husband's outside. I should probably go out. He probably wonders where I am. He's out there in the car with the cat. I'm sure the cat's driving him crazy by now. Like, that figures. Anyway, so then, finally the other guy, he moves over, and I go around, and she's still there. And her husband comes in. It'll just be 5 minutes, honey. Then he comes back like 15 minutes later. I've got to just be 5 minutes. I'm just going to check out now. And he's taking all this in good spirits, I guess, because he has to. I don't know. And then she finally stands up and takes a little cart and walks around. And I've like zipped through the whole thing. Oh man, I'm not being nasty. I'm just, you know. And then she's taking the records she doesn't want, she's sticking them in the high-priced record bins, like just like throwing them in. So anyway, then what? Then I figured when I got out there's a Michaels right next door to it, and I remember that I'm out of paint that's the color of blood. I'm out of blood red paint and blood red colored pencils. So I go in, I get myself several shades of blood, acrylic colored blood paint, and 2 shades of Prismacolor red blood colored pencils. And I go up and there's only one other lady in front of me. Okay, I'm studying her. She's got a tan. It's too early for a tan, naturally a tan. And she's wearing the black leather boots, you know, and she's got the designer purse and the black jacket, and the hair's dyed. I'm just, you know, I'm just kind of like, it's okay. You know, I just figure she's really like really, and never mind. I'm cutting out that part about the woman because it's not pertinent. But the woman at the cash register, this is what, and I'm standing there after putting up with all this. It was like the worst half-price book experience ever. Probably even worse than, oh, and I forgot to mention the guy was there with half a jaw. You know, I talked about him in an earlier video, and he doesn't care. He's super annoying. In addition to the annoying bag lady record collector, the record collector with half a jaw's there, he's just sticking his nose in everywhere like there's no personal space at all. Even the guy that's like being nice about everything that's down there is like, you know, like what the hell, looking at the guy with half a jaw. The other guy is around complaining about the 45s being all scratched up. If you don't get there right away, people handle them and you can't, you know, so I'm behind a lady at Michael's with my blood-colored paint, and she's like, what the hell is she doing? I have no idea. She's just got like a effing coffee cup or something. I don't know. And she's like tapping on her phone like I think she's looking up a coupon or what the hell is she doing? Calculating a discount price or something. She's just there for effing ever. While the line, even behind me, Manic Mark, who's behind the woman that I won't talk about, is loading up with people. And finally she leaves, and I check out my blood red paint. And they asked me, what's your phone number? No, what's your email address? And I said, you got it! And they do actually have it. And I forgot to bring my coupons. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm out of there. Then I got to go to Myers, okay? And I got to get stuff at Myers. So what do I get at Myers? Oh, they have pumpernickel bread right from Germany. That's so good. It's so good. I love it. I buy a brick of it. It's kind of expensive, but it's all the way from Germany. You got to pay shipping on the brick of pumpernickel bread, but you toast it. It's thin. You toast it. You put butter on it, and it's good. And there's no preservatives in it. How they do that, I don't know. They just leave it on the shelf, and it doesn't turn green. So I'm behind a lady, and it's like people are so weird. First of all, I'm watching her, and she goes to pick up the little divider thing to put it between her stuff and my stuff, and she reaches for the track, and she's trying to pick the track up, and I realize she can't even see that there's not a little divider thing there. So she's like, kind of, you know, I can tell that she's kind of like, oh, well, I feeling kind of awkward about reaching to pick up the track, and I'm like, anyway, so finally she gets up and she gets the divider and she puts it down, and she's like perfectly right in the middle, perfectly straight. She turns so the type is facing up so that I can read that says, put this between, you know, whatever it says. I've never read it, just in case I want to read it anyway. Now we're going to go to the records. Now I noticed at Half Price Books that they had finally put all my gospel records in the bin. That's why it looked pretty full when I went in. That's why I waited. I just wanted to point that. Why didn't you just leave? I thought about it, but then the bins were still pretty full. Everybody looks for something different. I thought maybe anyway, but it was mostly Manic Mark gospel records. But there were 2 records in there that weren't marked on the back, and I can swear I've had one before. I forgot to mark it. Anyway, it's Jerry Bernard and his accordion gospel record. I just couldn't remember. I think it... But this one I know I don't have. I don't remember ever owning this one. It's recorded at the Jordan Recording Studios, which is just almost within walking distance of my house, and manufactured by Jewel Record Company in Cincinnati. It's J.B. and Paula Gibson. He's big enough to carry your burdens. He's got to be pretty damn big because the world is full of people with burdens. And that's a lot of weight to be carrying around. Who are these people in the back? I have no frickin' idea. Daddy, that's... Anyway, it's got all your background singers. Oh my God. Anita Gibson, Lisa Gibson, Roy Gibson, and Dennis Hensley. Dennis Hensley plays the banjo. He's the sessions guy that plays on a lot of these old vintage records around here. But this must be the Gibson people and somebody else. I don't know. I'm just going on and on and on. Well, I just had to make and it's, oh, it snowed. It frickin' snowed. I got up this morning, there's snow all over the ground. After like being 80 degrees and all the flowers are bloom and everything's happy, and then the snow comes in and wrecks everything. I just gotta put a picture up. That's a magnolia tree with snow on it. And it stayed on the trees, like there's still snow on the trees. It's hard to believe. And I put the screens in, and then now it's freezing, now it's cold. I had to turn the fire. Not the fire. What the fuck? Stop complaining so much. God, that woman just made me itch all over. Ugh. That's it. Now, if I don't play anything from these stupid records, Life After Death, Roy Gibson. Roy Gibson wrote a song titled Life After Death, and I'm just going to play the damn thing. Whether or not it deserves to be played or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm just so highly agitated by my record store experiences today. I'm just going to pass it along. If this sucks, too bad.
of mine.